All right, good morning. Good morning. Today we are talking about guitar today. Well, surprise, surprise. We are working with the morning ritual for guitar growth. We are on, well, today is the first day. Good morning, Raul. I see you're very active on your YouTube channel, and that's very, very inspiring to us. So thank you very much for sharing all of your wonderful work with the world. Today we're beginning with, let's see, today we kick off Strum Pattern Week. So at the last quarter of this guitar session, we do this every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you may know. And if you're new, oh, hey, here we go. Good morning. Good morning. Kevin, good morning. Guitar for everyone. And you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm just saying hi to Kevin. Good morning, boss. So we've got a nice little posse starting this morning already. We're going to start with Strum Pattern Week, and we're really starting today with, we'll be covering the Bo Diddley beat. We'll be covering some New Orleans, some like dirge style, but we'll start today with rhythmic displacement, and we're starting very carefully in the last half to quarter of this session. We'll still go through all of the morning ritual warm-up work, so we'll want to get through that this morning. But let's take a look at the A as this. We'll just assume that this note is in tune this morning, and we'll start with tuning to, I'll tune to A 440, which is pretty much what's going on here, and then I'll just go ahead and double check. I use fret 12 harmonic, natural harmonic on the A string, and fret 7 on the next higher string, the D string. And once, oh, hey. Once those tones are in tune, I leave them alone because they are now reference tones. I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. We got a ton of snow up here. Well, probably more than a ton, I guess. I guess depending on the amount of the area that you're measuring, but we got probably, let's see, we got, I don't know, 8-10 inches, maybe a little more, I don't know, something like that. And then we got some ice on top of it, so that's becoming the new norm for the Northeast, you know. I remember in 98, I think it was 98, there was a significant ice storm, and I remember driving from Maine to Vermont. We were looking for gigs, so 3 of us in the band were in my 94 Jetta, and we drove the ice storm. Our parents didn't want us to go. I think let's see, my either wife or soon-to-be wife at that point didn't want me to go. And we saw tractor trailer trucks, you know, stacked up like cordwood, jackknifed on the highway. So I always remember that one. It took us 14 hours to drive back. We were in Nectar's in Burlington, and on the television they said there was like a red and amber alert for weather in the area. So we decided that we better get moving before we get stuck there for a week. And so there was, you know, almost nobody else on the road, the back roads that we were taking, Route 2. And it was a wild ride. Solid sheet of like smooth ice. I've never seen anything like it. The antenna was this thick. You know, the antenna that's on the roof, on the hood of the vehicle, it was like inches thick, and then the wipers were that thick with ice, and they no longer function. In order to prevent the burnout of the wiper motors, I had to get out. We had to actually like hockey check our way out of the buggy just to gain access to egress to the vehicle. really wild times. So that's bringing back some wonderful memories. So let's get started without further ado. Why don't we get rolling? We usually have icebreakers come up the river and then help us out with flooding, but we frequently will be affected by flooding. So 3 and 4, 1 and a 2 and a you know what, 11 and 12. So if you're just joining us, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth, where we work on technical advances on our own instrument, on our own time, on our own dime. This is a free, it's a free session, you know what I mean? It's like something I'm going to be doing anyway. So I thought, you know, I may as well broadcast it. And so here we are. So it's a really nice, it's a really nice exercise for me for the morning. I can get my mind right, get my guitar hands going, and start talking about, just start talking about being a guitarist for the day. And if that happens, it's likely that I'll continue to be a guitar player over the span of the day. And in most cases, I'm working in the studio or doing some sort of producing, being productive somehow with guitar. This is a challenge for me. Fingers 2 and 3, 1 E and a 2 E and a 11 and 12, go E and a. This is 𝘠𝗶𝗆, good morning. Mr. Smith, good morning. Kevin, awesome. Little bit of winter in Pittsburgh too, nice. Yeah, Old Man Winter finally shows up. We've got skiers up here that are just chomping at the bit to really get in the powder today. So hopefully the ice didn't hit the Sugarloaf too hard or the Saddleback too hard. There are a lot of great little ski mountains right here in Maine. And if you ever come to Maine and you want to experience world-class skiing, I have a couple friends on the ski patrol, and my an uncle who's retired skis over 100 days a year. So if you want to come to the Northeast and ski, if you get here, let me know. We'll go to ski or snowboard or whatever it is you're up to. I'll probably put the board on, put the old Burton on. Good. Fingers 1 and 2, 11 and 12. 1 E and a 2 Z, and I'm putting on my shoes. Tensama Pacho, good morning. Thank you for being here. If you're just tuning in, welcome. I wanted to personally welcome you to the morning ritual for guitar growth. This happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for all of 2025. And if you like what's going on, just bring your guitar. We work through tuning up, we work through breath, we tell a few stories, we share a live chat that is always banging with world-class players from all over the place, and just, it's a really great experience from what we've had so far. We started late November, early December. Maybe someone can help me, but I know we have a few people here who've been with us from the beginning. So today we start with Strum Pattern Week. So we do these themes too. So we work through the morning stuff, we work through the finger stretching, because I'm working on this Ted Green sort of like chord chemistry series on my guitar channel right here at Jason Carey Guitar. And so these finger stretches are going to help us to reach all of those wild shapes that Mr. Green has in store for us, okay? And then we can start working on chord melodies, and we can really start working on and then we can work on a lot of stuff. So but today we're working on basic strum patterns, so stick around. Fingers 2 and 4, 3 and 4, and we're stretching frets 10 and 12. I love the loves. Someone is really enjoying that love button this morning. And if you wouldn't mind, if you're here, smash the like button on the video too, because that will help. You know, that I think all of it helps. You know, every little bit helps, right? So let's go ahead. 60 beats per minute, 4 attacks per beat. 1 E and a 2 E and a 10 and 12, go. And we're stretching fingers 3 and 4 right here. We're doing the righteous stretch. Are you experiencing any flooding down there, Kevin? Still here. Too much snow for my liking. Morning Clan. Oh yeah, Morning Clan. All right. Jimmy Biscuit, good morning. Hi. I didn't go all the way down to position 1, so let's go down. I forgot. Turn around early. Let's go and tag that fret 1. If you're here and you're playing guitar with us, just give us a shout out, thumbs up. Yes, I'm on my guitar. You know, you don't do it now, but you know, at some point in this live chat, I'd love to get a feel for like who's, I know 4 or 5 of you are definitely here doing this, but I want to encourage more people to show up with guitar in hand and start breathing our way through this complex problem of the guitar. The guitar is a complicated instrument. It's non-linear. I mean, it's multilinear. So we have all of those notes on one string. We can linearly lay these notes out. But now what we do is we have multiple strings with those multiple linear problems. So now what we're doing is we're solving for those, and then we're actually, let's jump back into that 2nd and 3rd finger stretch. Fingers 2 and 3 on 10 and 12. Go. 1 E and a 2 and a 4. Louisville. I used to work with some consultants in Louisville. Really great, hard-nosed people, you know what I mean? They'll tell you if you're awesomely bad, they'll tell you, they'll let you know. But you develop some thick skin over the years, and the only person we're really in competition with is our own person, right? How far can we take it? That's why those goal systems are so important for me to develop. Just for the potential of being the capacity to track my progress. So that's another reason why I love those loves, man. They just keep flying. That's super, you know, super. That's one reason why we're doing all of 2025 right here. So we're going to take the first video we did and the last video we do in 2025. We're going to take a look at the gain. We're going to see how my technique suffered in the beginning stages and what changed, what exactly changed. What is 260 hours of morning routine, ritual warm-up stuff? What is that? What does that change over my year-long approach to guitar practitioner, being a guitar practitioner? So you know, hang out. There's a lot of great stories to come, and fingers 1 and 2. I see Marlon on board here this morning. 1 E and a 2 E and a 10 and 12, go E and I thought about taking this morning off because it's holiday here in America, right? We've got this President's wonderful holiday. And I thought, you know what? I can celebrate this holiday while playing my guitar with the Morning Clan. So here we are. And thank you so much for being here with me this morning and really hammering that love button. Now, if you click over to likes, you can notice we have 13 likes right now. If you're here and you feel like you can help this channel by simply clicking the like button, I'm going to just make that appeal at this moment, and I really thank you for doing that. Thank you. Man, that's great. Busch Gardens fan. I have a couple of ice skating friends. Yes, all right. Let's see. Thomas. Good morning, Thomas. We're good where I'm at. Thanks. Good morning, folks. Jean. Good morning, Jean Joseph. Good morning. And Busch Garden fans, good morning. Thank you for being here. And if you're just tuning in, let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 2 and 4, and we'll do the finger 2 and 4 stretch on 9 and 12. We always have a great time here on the morning ritual for guitar growth. And this is simply a progress. Let's see, let's count this off. 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do. 9 and 12. All right, 9 and 12 and fingers 2 and 4, and then we'll go back and do fingers 1 and 3. 1 E and a 2 and a you know what to do. Yes, we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we're doing is we're warming up together. We're all alone, but we're together through this live chat, this live feed. And so in real time, we're working through the things that are otherwise, we're obliterating the mundane with breath. We're setting goals, we're managing goals, we're breaking through we're breaking out of our own sort of like rhythmic and melodic prisons. You know what I mean? We're moving, we're going beyond. So 9 and 12. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 1 and 3. Julian Popa. We have Ilian Popa. Hello, I hope I'm not butchering the name, which is consistent with what I usually do, not intentionally. Hello, good morning. Tons of snow on the other side of the ocean in Romania as well. Wow. Welcome. I have a couple ice skating friends. I too am an ice skater. I like to do the hockey stop. I'm sort of a trained hockey skater, but I enjoy it. Mike just subscribed. Thank you, Mike, for being here. Robbie Smith, expecting 8 in Williamsburg, Virginia. Grandkids pumped. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We have, you know what I usually do is I'll go around the property here and I'll get my Alaskan snowshoes out. And once we go, I'll stomp out, I'll just stomp out a trail. I'll break a trail just like I'm in, Fort, whatever it is in Alaska, in Fairbanks. And we'll get out and I'll just break the trail so the kids can come. And then what we do is we have a rope that I tie behind me, my person, and we have the sleds that we carry. We just truck. The dogs are running around everywhere, leaping through the snow, and then the grandkids, the kiddos are behind us, just kind of riding, getting the sled rides, and then we go through the woods. We're going to do a suspension bridge this summer, for the kids to balance on. And boy, you've got me all excited, Robbie. Good morning, Marlon. Let's take a look at the fingers 3, 2, 3. Did we do 2, 3, and 4 yet? I don't think we did. It seems like this is a tongue twister for me, and I haven't felt that yet. Let's get on top of this one. So fingers 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and T and 4. 2 E and a you know what to do E and a 2, 3, 4. This one's a little bit more challenging for me because it's 3 over 3 in the fret hand and then 2 in the picking hand. Also, I wanted to put a plug in here for Raul because he's been emailing me with some really great ideas, and he shared his Charlene guitar with us. So if you have some time later on just to run over into the community posts tab of this channel and take a look at the guitars of the morning ritual, you could have your guitar featured too. All you have to do is email a picture, set up a nice photo shoot of your guitar. send it over to jasoncareyguitar@gmail.com with a little bit of backstory. And if you name your guitar, if you don't name your guitar, send it over. We'd love to see it. We all want to see the guitars of the morning ritual. So thank you for participating in that and sharing those wonderful ideas with me, Raul. Those are being heard and absorbed as we speak. Good morning, Marlon. Got my Yamaha F310 an hour ago. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, that's a huge, that's great. That's like a shot in the arm. That'll keep you going for another little while, right? New instruments are just wonderful things to, you know, gear acquisition is pretty great. 10, 11, and 12, fingers 1, 2, and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do. And Mr. Husband, good morning, boss. No flooding here. Okay, and D1 Colton, I'm looking to buy an acoustic guitar. I'm a complete beginner. What do you recommend? I recommend setting a budget. I recommend setting a budget and then staying in that budget. I also recommend starting with a, you know, an inexpensive guitar. I found, you know, a really nice Harmony, an old Harmony Stella on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something for like 50 bucks. And it's a really cool guitar. It's an old sort of like beater, but I have a lot of blues guitar friends who are like, when they go in to record, you know, major blues albums, they'll bring those in to record those because they have the sound, you know, it's the sound that we're looking for. I also would recommend starting at the bottom of the barrel because it gives us an appreciation of what a beginner guitar is. And that appreciation will only help us to fully realize our potential as we start to get better quality, you know, a $300 guitar, $350, $700, $750, $1,000, $1,500, you know, $3,500, $15,000. All of those things have different features, and we would not be able necessarily to observe or appreciate those features if we started out with just you know, a really expensive guitar to begin with. So I'm going to take a quick stretch, straighten that old elbow out. We've got this just a really quick, like a junior high school sort of calisthenic, you know, just a basic stretch. I hope that's helpful. I would try a guitar, you know, $100 is $150 is for an acoustic guitar. You can get a really great guitar for that now, and it's I would recommend just starting at the bottom and then keep it when you're ready for another one. Then study the market, you know, at $350, but incrementally increase, you know. My recommendation would be just to appreciate the instrument at each level as much as I could, you know. That's what I would, that would be my recommendation. If you want, I did a guitar review of my Martin DX2E. It's a zero coat, beautiful acoustic guitar for, it's like 600 bucks. You can look at that Martin's DX2E Martin guitar review on my channel right here at Jason Carey Guitar. It seems that, you know, some people like it. I've had a little bit of constructive criticism around it, but, you know, it's fun. It's just intended to be fun and explore, but be serious about the approach of the guitar. And if you have questions about the guitar from there, you could let me know if you want. If you actually do watch the video, I'd love to hear your feedback on what you think of the video and what you think about the guitar. Love to hear all of that. All right, so we're now graduated to being 4-finger guitar players again. So let's start with fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 on 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1 and a 2E and a TE and a 4E and a... Got it new in box for $135. Reed. Good morning, Reed. I love guitar too. What are you practicing? So if you're just tuning in, sorry, I'm just getting to your comment here. I lag a little bit. You know, I'm trying to get through a morning ritual. And if you're just tuning in, I just wanted to invite you to come again, to return. But if you're just tuning in, we do this every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we breathe, we tune, and we do the mechanical process. We engage in the mechanical process of warming up for the rest of our guitar day. So we spend about an hour in the morning, every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. And I come from the land of the Wabanaki, where they believe that it's their job to raise the sun for the rest of the people in the nation. So it's a really nice little time. I like the morning because it helps me to become a guitar player for the remainder of each day. You know, if I didn't practice guitar in the morning, I practice guitar in the morning, and then I practice guitar during the day, and I practice the guitar before bed, you know, and all that stuff. But I like to start out in the morning with the same ritualistic approach, because this really helps me to focus right here. This is what I'd like to do. Remove all of the noise from my life, focus on my breath, and then focus solely on tone production, on nice, even, well-placed tone. Okay, so that's what I'd like to do. That's the goal here. So thank you for asking. 1E and a plus. We're entering into new ground. Every once in a while we'll have a themed week. This week is the kickoff to Strum Pattern Week, and today we'll cover some basic rhythmic displacement concepts so that you can really do everything rhythmically on your guitar that you'll ever need to do on your own, just by understanding this concept. And I'm sure you already understand it, but we're just working through practicing. We're going to practice through it for the last 15 minutes, so stick around. 1, 2, 3, 4, we're stretching the fourth finger. 1E and 1E and a 2E and a T and a 4E and a all the way down to 1 and back. Same thing. Please play a metal riff. I love metal. I love metal. Thank you for asking about metal. What acoustic guitar do you recommend? I think, Yamaha makes some really great stuff. Guild makes some great stuff. Gretsch makes some great stuff. Fender makes great stuff. Martin makes some great stuff. I would recommend, do you have access to visiting music stores in your area? Hockey Stop. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Wow, I'm really behind. I'm just catching up. Sorry to be behind on my on my responses today. VP Records. Bro, please change your logo. It reminds me of something. Let's start on position 5. 1E and a 2E and a TE and a 4E and a... Does it remind you of like a rocket ship taking off or what? Guitar? It's the guitar neck. It's like this guitar, really, right? It's the guitar neck and then the sound hole or whatever. So it's a play on my initials. It's kind of a cool... a good old friend made that for me when we were doing some work together across the state. He's a wonderful keyboard player. I see some guy was here but retracted the message. Fine Weather, interesting guitar. It's a really cool guitar. I love it. It's the 339. It's the last year they made it in Memphis, so it's sort of made out of unobtainium now. And you know, I've got all kinds of, well, I've had all kinds, you know, Gibson Historic Custom Shop, you know, like the 446 super guitar. And this plays and sounds as good as anything, you know, and it's not, you know, a quarter of the price or whatever. So it's a really cool guitar, I agree. And let's go ahead and do the same thing, but this time let's go ahead and drop that first finger back. 1 E end, 2 E end to stretch that first finger, and we're working on just getting through the mechanical process, and we're about ready to start on the strum pattern segment of this morning session, this morning ritual session. We'll use strum patterns as part of our warm-up because it's rhythmically relevant to guitar, because we're playing the rhythm section, and we're playing melody. So we have a really distinctive role in an ensemble. Okay? And I want to try to make this session last forever this morning, because after this I'm headed back out for some more snow removal activity. Yes, Chris, good. I'm dragging. I'm right on 60 beats per minute, 4 attacks per beat, and I may play around with the rhythm. I may drag. I may push. I may do a few things here and there. But we like to break it down into 1 attack per beat, 2 attacks per beat, 3 attacks per beat, 4 attacks per beat, 5 attacks per beat, 6 attacks per beat, 7 attacks per beat. And sometimes we get there, but this being a Monday morning, we like to take it nice and easy and just keep on just kind of breathing. Sometimes we'll just kind of start running, sprinting out of the gate. But we like to leave things in reserve, so for when we need to make that final push. Just keep things in the gas tank. Just keep a little extra in the tank. Good. I'm glad, Chris, that you're here. Thank you for being here, and thank you for encouraging some forward momentum. So we have fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you've been here, you know what's coming. And then we invert that, and we do 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we descend a position and ascend 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we invert that and we descend 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we move down 1 position, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we invert that and descend the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're doing 4 attacks per beat, 60 beats per minute, and we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just working on breathing. Working on reconnecting every morning, waking up, reconnecting with our instrument, reconnecting with the time continuum that's been set forth for us, re-engaging with 60 beats per minute. Doggy, 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 da. Ready? And 1 E and 2, and you know what to do. Great idea to 16th note triplets, Chris. I like the way you think. Oh, let's go back to position 1. 1, 2 E and a T E and a 4 E and a. Oh, Seagull. Thank you for mentioning Seagull. Yeah, what a great. So that's like 𝘠𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗍's entry level model, right? Yeah, really great stuff. Really great Canadian luthier. I forgot all about seagulls. Man, I haven't played a seagull for ages. I used to have, Beth used to come in for sessions, and 4 middle strings, same thing. T, E, and a, fo, E, and a, you know, bucking da. Bought a Stella in Jackson, $80, it's mint. Isn't it crazy how you can, those things sound amazing with, those are great recording guitars. Those things sound awesome. Dr. Cron's sing Eye of the Tiger. I come from land down under. Oh, you better run, better take cover. Yeah, very cool. I've got your number. Here we go. Fingers 1 E into 2 E into D into bone. Bottom 4 strings. I play on Cousin Brucey's radio show. I wish sometimes. So, oh, can you tell us more about Samantha? Welcome. Can you tell us more about? I'm sorry, I don't know. I really wish I could speak to that, but I'd like to learn more about Cousin Brucey's radio show. Let us know about it. I see a sword in the logo. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like where you're going with that. 60 beats per minute. Thanks, Raul. You beat me to the punch. So I'm using Chromatic. There we go. If you haven't checked out Mr. McWenna's channel, he is working through a number of fingering exercises and variations on what we cover here today. So it's worth a visit and try, absorbing some of what's going on there. And what he's doing is placing it there for you to just hook onto. Even if you hook onto 1 or 2 things you can work on for a week, that's all we're looking for, right? All right, 37 minutes. We're approaching our when we're going to convert over to strum patterns, and we're just getting there. I wanted to do one more set of stretches. If you can bear with me for one moment, I would also like to encourage you to do the same thing. So be mindful of the need for break pattern, for rest and refreshment. And 8 hours for rest and refreshment. Eight hours for our usual vocations. 8 hours for charity and observance of the creation. And 8 hours for rest and refreshment. So that, that's a pretty great way to break up the day. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. Fouls. Is it part of the exercise talking while playing? Well, that's a great question. No, it's not. But I've been teaching a lot interpersonally. So what I do is I'll model something, and I'll try to teach while I'm modeling the thing. And then what I'll do is typically, if we're face to face, I would give you silence. I'd give you a moment to my student or guitar friend, just a moment to process the thing, and then let the brain work, practice the thing, and then come back. And then when the student looks up again, ready for more information, I'll be right there ready to fire it off. But I don't want to, it's not I don't operate under the preconception that I know everything. So as a matter of fact, I know that I don't know everything. I also know that I will never know everything. But I also know and recognize the value of offering guidance, right? Good quality, both sides of the coin sort of guidance, seeing all there is to see. And, typically what will happen to me, like in the live chat here, I probably learn more from you than you might learn from me. So it's really a benefit to me to be here doing this anyway, right? For free. For the rest of, I'm doing this every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the remainder of 2025 at least, right? And that's quite a commitment, I think, and it's free, it all only costs your seat time. And we can get into that in a little bit, but right now, I think it's really important that we start talking about strum patterns. And so what we're going to do is we're going to begin with the choke before we even work on any fretboard, any harmonic approach. It's not harmonic approach. It's not rhythmic approach to, harmonic breakdown. It's not that. It's strum. So I wanted to talk specifically about, if you would be so kind as to humor me for just a moment. I just want to talk about rhythmic patterning, and I'm turning my delay pedal off here. And like Chris said earlier on, Chris Gillum, I'm not sure if he's still here, but he talks about lagging or dragging or being on top of the beat or playing behind the beat. And so what we want to do right now is try to be right on top of the beat. So I'm choking, I'm laying all four fingers over the entire string set of the guitar. It could be down here or around position 5, or we could choke up to whatever's comfortable. For me, this is just sort of like a rest position. So there's no reason why I'm up here at all. There's absolutely no reason, but we're talking about strumming, specifically strumming metronome at 60 beats per minute. And we're scientifically approaching this through rhythmic displacement. We're using quarter note grid at the moment. We'll use eighth note grid in a few moments, and 16th note grid later on. And then eventually we will be playing like the 𝘬𝘵𝘵 beat. We'll be playing multiple odd time signatures. We'll be playing some flat picking, boom chick. We'll be playing some, we're going to get ourselves ready as if we're the guitar player, the session player that gets called to show up for, a Whitney Houston session. We're the A-lister they're going to call, right? So, get the call. Hey, Raul, we got Whitney Houston is in town. Well, if the late, great Whitney Houston. Whitney's in town, and we need, you're first on the list. Can you make it? So you roll in with your 2 or 3 guitars and 2 or 3 amps, and and your skill. They lay down a chart in front of you, and you look at the chart, glance at it. They say we're rolling, and then the next thing you know is you're playing. You've absorbed all of the music, internalized it, and then you're ready to perform it in real time. And so that's a skill to hone and develop. But right now we're just simply talking about being on the click. And that's simple. If you can hear the click, probably not doing it right. So I can hear the click and I'm not focusing enough. So I've heard people say, mentors say, that if you're right on the click, you no longer hear the click against the attack of the string, the pick through the string set. The more we do this, the more we can observe if we're I'm clearly not on it, but the more we do this, the more critical our observations become of rhythmic placement. So we're starting on quarter notes. We'll start on 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll only use 1. We'll play on only the downbeat. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1. Buenos dias. 4, 1, 2, T, fo, 2, T, fo. 2, T, fo. All right, we're going to displace that attack. That's one attack per measure. T. We're going to attack on 2 now. 2, ready, go, rest. 2, T, fo, rest. 2, T, fo, rest. 2, T, fo. And we're not necessarily just kind of slamming through the string set. You know, we're not playing G and R necessarily, but we're doing, you know, we could be strumming, you know, just kind of glissading, just skiing nicely down through the string set, or up through the string set. Mr. Tortorello. You know, I think we could say we're happy to see you, couldn't we? This is great, man. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and so happy that you are able to pop your head in for a moment. And we're just in the middle of strum patterns, okay? So we're on beats, we're only attacking on beat 2 now. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, attack, Zach attack. So we're attack on the 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we're attacking on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have different feels. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's go to 4. 1, 2, wait now. Wait, wait. We be patient, strum. 1, 2, and a T and a bo, and 2 and T and a ba. So that's displacement. We've literally displaced the attack from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 across the span of a 4 beat measure, 60 beats per minute. If you're just tuning in, this might seem a little bit weird, but if you're just tuning in, we're all here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the morning ritual for guitar growth for the entire year of 2025, which means that we'll have an accumulated minimum of 260 hours to show and witness. We can all bear witness to the monumental gains that are about to happen for each and every one of us here over the span of 2025. And that's no joke, my friend. 2, let's go ahead and do 2 attacks per, let's stay on 1, but this time let's do 8th notes. 1 and 2 and T and fo, and 1, 2 and T and fo, and 1, 2, and you can feel the energy build, and 1, 2, T and fo, and 1. Let's do the and of 1. Now we have 8 subdivisions for each measure, right? 2, or each bar, not each measure, each bar, each measure, I guess, not each beat, but each measure. 2 and T and 1, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, T and 4, 1 and 2, T and 4, 1 and 2, T. You get the point. Now let's move to 2. 2, T and a 4, E and a 1 and 2, T E and of 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E and a 1 and 2 and T. Or you get the point. 1 and 2 and T, 4 E and a 1 and 2 and T and 4, and then 3, 2, 3, 4, and then and of 3, 2, 3, and 4. We practice each one of these on its own so that we have a full understanding of what exactly it means to play on the end of 3. 1 and 2 and T and 4. 1 and 2. You know, you can just have a ton of fun with it. There's so much world to explore rhythmically. So let's go ahead and do the, you know, the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's super slow, but it gives us a chance to be on 4. 1 and really get to know 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. And then the and of 4 is working on anticipating the 1. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2. So we have all kinds of potential there. We have hours and hours and hours of practice to commit to on rhythmic displacement. Right. 1 and 2. Let's do 16th note grid. All right. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo E and a 1 E and a T E. Yamaha FS 800. Nice. And T and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. Now we're going to do the E. 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. 1 E and a 2 and a T E. And then we're displacing that from the first beat, attack on the first beat, to the attack on the E, to the attack on the and, to the attack on the and then the beat number 2, and then the E and 3 E and 4 E and. Did you see where we're going with this? There's a tremendous amount of work before we even start getting back to being 4 attack per beat guitar players. So let's take a look at the 2. The and of 1. 1 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo. Then the of 1 T E and a fo. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and I'm just hooking on, not getting excited and playing it loudly. 1 E and a 2 E. I'm just being in the right place at the right time, under control, and through and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo. And then 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo. 1 E and a 2 E and a T and a 4. And then the 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a E of 1 E and a 2 E and then 1 and the end of 2 and the end of 2 and a 3 and a 4. And then the 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. And then 3 2E and a 3E and a 𝘂, then and a 2E and a 3E and a 𝘂, then and 2E and a 3E and a 𝘂, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 𝘂, and then and 3, 2E and a 3E and a 4, 4, 3E and a 𝘂, and 1E and and E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. And we start over again. So that's rhythmic displacement. And then let's go back to quarter note grid and talk about 2 attacks per beat. Let's start with beats like 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. This is where we first start working on the boom chick pattern. Root and then chord pattern. And then root and then chord strum. And then root and then strum the chord. Root and then strum the chord. And then we use 2 and 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we could use the 9th chord, 3 on 2 and 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it helps us to, you know, understand if we're playing a long tone, if we want to ride out that beat, or if we want to just play a short tone to just kind of accent and cut off that rhythmic laissez-faire. So we have that really nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Or you could just play it on 1 and 3. All right, so let's go ahead and do 1 and 4. 1, 2, here we go. Oh, 1 and 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's do that one again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's rhythmic displacement. Oh, hey, Charlie Pear. How do you progress chord progression smoothly? That's a great question. Thank you very kindly for the, we call that $1.99. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps to keep the lights on, right? And you know what they say? You know what's said? You can't change the world unless you can keep the lights on. And that's a fact. Well, you can, you know, because I guess there were really no lights when we were Neanderthals, right? Well, I mean, there just fire. Wow, if there's no fire, you can't change the, if you can't keep the fire on, you can't change the world. That really is a time and place issue, isn't it? That's a little existentialism, but let's take a look at, what are you talking, yeah, what are you talking about? Night Train, there you go. Wow, I can't believe you guys are digging those tunes out. Had a cool thought, all of us from all over across the world, yet while doing the strum had a cool thought. What was the cool thought? Fleet, what's the cool thought? Yeah, oh, you know what? That's a good question. I'm not in the parlor right now. We had a really long weekend where we did a lot of work, and tomorrow I will likely be in the parlor, and so I was just kicked back here this morning, so that's cool. I was wondering about that. What kind of music do you play? I love to play all kinds of music, D&I boys. And don't forget, if you're just tuning in, I know Kevin's getting ready to jump, but if you're just tuning in, I wanted to invite you. We're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the remainder, for an entire year of 2025. So please join us. Please bring your guitar. You don't need a tune. We tune. We do some breath work. We do some tuning work. We do some mechanical guitar work. And this week is Strum Pattern Week, which will be wildly popular as we advance through, okay? So please stick around. You have to be light to yourself in a world that is becoming utterly dark. Oh, yes. You know what? I might bring up my parlor guitar for our work in the parlor tomorrow. Let's see if we can do that. I think it's playable. No cap, we play. Please say it ain't. Play, say it ain't. Oh, yeah, there you go. I have trouble transitioning between fretting chords. I play sax and piano, but guitar is difficult for me. Let's all take a moment and please wish Kevin a wonderful day. And thank you, Kevin, for being here. I'm going to continue on for just a couple minutes to talk about smoothing it, smooth chord transitions, and then I've got a duck for the day. But I definitely appreciate you all being here. And Kevin, say hello to Pop for us, and then I hope you all have a wonderful day and travel well, friend. We'll see you tomorrow morning at regular time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to hang out and check out this chord transition commentary that I can offer, it won't take long. It'll be less than 5 minutes, so you're more than welcome to hang out. But I wanted to answer. Charlie Pear did give us a little bit of incentive here this morning, so I definitely appreciate that. I wanted to practice some gratitude. I don't always have time to do that, but we just hit us usually we'll end at the bottom of the hour, so this is now overtime, so we've officially concluded our morning ritual for guitar growth, and we're talking now about chords. It doesn't matter what chord it is, all right? As you know, Charlie, so if we're doing, piano lab work and we're starting to, learn scales and then crossovers with basic major scales and that kind of stuff, then what we do is we repeat that. We go slowly. This is all pre-metronomic work, pre-metronome work, right? So then what we do is once we master it without a metronome and we have some muscle memory developed, then we can start turning on the metronome, and then we can start playing the scale with both fingers, with both hands, and then each hand, as you know, has a different crossover for the major scale, right? And each scale has different crossover fingerings, and all right, we'll see you, Kevin. And then, so what I would like to do is just start with a basic note, right? Just this concept is applicable. It's so simple. Let's say I wanted to move from a C note, right? Let's say fret C, G, A, B, C. If I wanted to move from this, let's call this, I know it's not a chord, and I'll take some constructive criticism about it's not a chord, but let's say it is a chord just for the time being. If I wanted to get to the next chord, which is an G chord, let's say the C chord wants to move to G, I need to locate the G, C, D, E, F, and then G. And I know that C, B, A, G, I know that there's a G there, I know there's a G here, I know there's a G here, I know there's a G here, or here, or here. I know there are G notes all over the guitar. So what do? I know that I need to know how to get from here to every G note. And there might be a reason texturally, why I would prefer to get to that G note on the G string, which is on the same note, the same string as the C note. Tonal integrity and maintaining tonal structure. So as soon as I move away from the G string and then I go get this G note, they have a different tonal signature, right? A different textural, a timbral signature. They're all the same pitch, but something about those tones changes. So that's kind of the way I need to know where I'm going, right? So before I can actually transition from one chord to the next, I need to know both chords, right? So, and this is a big time investment, I think. You know, it's a big time investment or big time investment. You know, and I think that means funny how that means two different things depending on how we say it. So we have, let's say I wanted to go from a C chord, you know, the Nashville C, without the, you know, the C note, the E note here. I don't need that note in there. I'm just going to play the C5. Let's say I'm going to play that root note, and then I'm not really even rhythmically conscious of anything. I just know I need to transition from a C to a G7 chord, and then back to C. So I know that I'm playing a piece of music that needs me. I know I'm playing a piece of music that needs me. The recipe calls for a C note, a C chord here, and a G chord here. You know, let's say I wanted to go from here to here. Oh, the G chord would be here, right, with the B and the bass. And then so C here, open G, C, and then B, or high E. And then before the metronome even moves, I know I need to go to G7. So I know this is a G7, open G, open B, fret 1 on the high E is a G7. So I know that I can move from one chord to the next by practicing each one and then focusing on what do I have to do to move from this chord, the C chord, to the G7. I need to move one finger up one string while remaining on the same fret. Oh, well, see, that's the other thing, right? What Mr. Husband is just saying, like, Dan, what the boss man is saying here is we could move from the C chord here that we know, and then to a G chord here. This would be tonally sort of like appropriate for, let's say, a Bob Dylan song or a Joni Mitchell song or a Leonard Skinner song, right? But I would practice strumming the bass note first and then strumming the chord, and then break it down and watch, what do I need to do to get from here to here? I need to literally study the transition from one finger to the next. Where does it need to be in the next fingering? So I need to watch these two fingers remain the same cellular structure while this first finger moves away. These two are moving down one string each. This first finger is moving up one string. So there's this outward motion, and I need to study that and observe it. And then another thing I want to do is when I'm in transition from one chord to the next, I want each tone to land on its goal tone simultaneously. So I don't want to do like this and this and this and then build with blocks. I want to function as a professional guitar player and just get the transition memorized in my fine motor, my repository or bank of fine motor skill memory. And all the meanwhile, I'm also programming my tonal memory, which is something we have, our tonal memories. I know most of us are familiar, some of us are familiar with tonal memory. And we can remember N, B, so C, I know an A is right here because I have a good tonal memory that I've developed over time. And I have done lots of ear training work to prove that to myself. Right, so all of that stuff takes time, and it's all about being an observant guitar practitioner. So that's exactly what we're doing here, and I hope that was helpful to you, Mr. Pear. And I hope you continue your guitar approach, and I hope to see you again each weekday morning right here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now your time, all of your time, is, each one of us has time that's irreplaceable. And in an effort to appreciate that, I start on time, maybe a minute or two early, or a minute give or take, and I end on time. And today we are 10 minutes over. And I appreciate your this is your fifth super chat on a live stream. So way to be out there supporting your fellow brothers in arms and brothers and sisters in arms on the guitar. So thank you very much for being that person who does that, Charlie. And I look forward to checking out your channel. Yes, the C chord, the G chord is an example of what I struggle with. I know with muscle memory, like any instrument. I thought you would certainly appreciate it. If you take all of those things that you know in the piano discipline, it's a very similar application to the guitar or any instrument, like you say. I'm just echoing what you said. My transitions are awful choppy. The choppiness comes with breath. So here's the thing, like, occasionally you'll see me I get excited in this morning ritual. So I'm so excited to be here every morning. You have no idea. Like, just to get to the guitar at 7:30 every morning is like, I am so ready to just be with the guitar, right? And I want to be with it for an hour, and I want to be with you guys for an hour, but I want to breathe too. So this transition would go like this for me. So breathe in. But before I even transition, I need to learn each chord, memorize each chord, come back to it. Let's say I'm working on transitioning between C major 7 sharp 5 and then, you know, like a G major 7 sharp 5 with B in the bass, you know. So let's say I'm working on those. I've got to train my fingers to, you know, shake out the muscle memory, get rid of it, and then erase it, come back. Each finger comes back to its destination in synchronicity, right? And I'm breathing the whole time, so. And then I learned common ground. So there's common ground there too. So we're going to find places that we can go from one chord to the next that our mates on the guitar, just because we're focusing on certain things, we'll find our own paths, whereas someone else might have been focusing on this one thing, but they'll identify a different path. And so that's where it gets really interesting, where we're all here doing the same programmatic approach to the guitar in the morning, and we're all going to look at the first video. So if you haven't recorded a video yet, go ahead and record a video of you following along with this morning ritual as soon as you can, and then record another one at the end of the year for the last one, and then we can all look back and see, like, what kind of progress did we make? Is my posture better? Has my vocal tone changed? Has my outward and inner appearance changed? What about my mechanical skill and my fret hand and my picking hands? There's a lot of observable change that we're going to capitalize on in the next several months as we proceed through 2025 together in this morning ritual for guitar growth. And so thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the channel, Mr. Pierre. Don't get me started on bar chords too. I can fret them all, but my transitions are awfully choppy. Thank you for your feedback. I'll take a look at your channel and see what's going on. Do you have any videos on your channel? Cheers, crew. See you all in the morning, 7:30 Eastern. See you. I've got to get out and do some more snow removal, so I've got that to look forward to. Maybe some homemade cinnamon rolls are in my future too. Azalea, what's that sound? Like the sound of water drops or clicking of a clack? That's a good question. It's the Mr. Metronome. It's 60 beats per minute all year long. And that's what we're guiding ourselves through. This is one of our guides through the morning ritual for practice. So I hope to see you all again tomorrow. May I ask how long you've been practicing your guitar? Hey, look at this. That's funny. Yeah, here's my logo. This is another thing I do, previous life. You live long enough, you do a lot of things. So that's my logo. Friend Greg made this logo for me, the 𝗎𝗎𝘂, a long time ago, and I really love the logo. And it's been with me since 2009, I think. But I've been practicing guitar way before that, so I was teaching my way through university in '97, so don't tell anybody that stuff. All right, so thank you for calling up on the shirt. That's really cool. I forgot that I was wearing that this morning. I don't usually wear that sort of merch, you know what I mean? There's merch, there are hats and t-shirts on my channel too. I don't know if you guys, if you guys buy one, I'll buy one, and then I'll start wearing it. I just thought, I don't know, I think it's more hokey, and if you guys have ideas for merch that I can sell through my Fourth Wall account, that would be cool. You know, just a little bit of stuff here and there to help keep the lights on. I think that's all we're looking for. But at the same time, I do like to wear, I am very proud of the work I've done with this group, and if you take a look at the website, you'll understand why I'm very proud of the work I've done with that group. And you know, we still do some private work and consultation work with that group, but it's you know, it's given us access to a lot of different things we wouldn't have otherwise had access to. Nice to see you still got those skills. Bro, silence. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. EasyX. What is that? Where are you going with that? Where are you going with that, EasyX? I just try to remember that we all want to be heard, right? I just try to take it all with a grain of salt, and eventually we all figure out what we need to have figured out for ourselves. Do you know what I mean? So one of the things I want to try to do is bring to the table this year, I want to try to remove my ego from the situation, but sometimes it's just it's challenging. The challenge is real for sure. But I try to remember why I'm here, and I'm not really here to be your your singing and dancing monkey. I'm here specifically on my own free will and accord to better myself, to better my own person, so that I can in turn, feed my family put food on the table, spiritually, be a good mentor for all others in my family, but through the practicing of the craft of the guitar. And so I know some of, it'll reach some of us and that message won't reach some of us. And I'm just okay with that. And I'm prepared to accept that. And if it's not aligning, if our worlds aren't aligning, that's okay. But I do want to, but I do want to encourage people to feel free to speak, but also at the same time with that freedom of what we have to say, just to think a little bit before we say the thing. And my feelings aren't, you really won't ever hurt my feelings, so don't worry about me. But I wanted to just try to remember to keep this live chat is sort of like a sacred space, because we do, when we end the live stream, what we do is we republish the video so that we can go back if we wanted to rewatch something and just re-practice something on our own time. I keep all of the live chat intact because I love the feel of the live situation. Like, it causes me to think more clearly on my toes and try to remember to leave my ego behind, check my ego at the door. And I have to admit, I'm not perfect in that department, so it can be challenging to check it. But I do want to just encourage you all to be here and encourage you all to continue practicing the guitar. And despite our differences, because we're all here to grow together, and we all are not growing at the same rate, which is okay. And fortunately, we have a situation where we can learn on our own time, on our own dime. We can spend as much or as little time as we want. And so I really appreciate those opportunities to talk about that once in a while. I don't want to talk about that every day. So once in a while, sometimes what I'll do is just hit the delete or hide band user. Typically a hide band delete, but I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes those are the people that are going to become my best friends. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird how that works out. So I appreciate you also helping to moderate this. I did take some lessons. I started early on with private lessons and went through university, and then traveled the world, I guess, through some sort of musical ambassadorship through, in a previous lifetime. There was a lot of work involved. I mean, there's no secret. There's a lot of work involved for especially a person like me. You want one of those shirts? All right. Let me see if I can get a link to those. I was thinking about, like, I want to do like a morning ritual shirt where it's like Jason Carey guitar, but there's a good message. Like the morning, maybe it's the morning ritual. Maybe you can help me frame a saying, like a quick tagline that we can put on the shirt, on the front of the t-shirt, or on a sleeve or something. Let's work on that. I've been thinking about that a lot, not so much in the past couple months, but I gave it some thought about 3 months ago, and kind of been dropping the ball. So maybe it's time to do that. Let's see. I'll never understand some guy passing through the feels the need to take the time and be in that time. Swans. I like swans. I like geese. Geese are pretty nasty creatures. Just got here. Thanks for being here. Death Row, Triz Dog, Easy is a bass player. Oh, that's funny. I have a lot of great friend bass players. I'm reading through the music lesson with Victor Wooten at the moment, as Raoul has been citing. Just got here, and wow, yeah, got it. Picked up a new guitar for the first time. Any tips? I do have a few tips, yeah. So one of the tips is to join us again in the morning for our It's at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday morning for all of 2025. So come back and ask those questions tomorrow morning early. Yeah, all right. So 𝘕𝗏𝘓𝗔𝘍, we'll be practicing. We're over overtime right now. We ended at an hour, which would have been 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. So you can actually come back tomorrow. We work on breath, tuning, and the mechanical sequence. The last quarter of the session will be a continuation of what we talked about today, because this week you walked right into Strum Pattern Week. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm getting ready to jump. I just wanted to get through some of these comments before I let it go for the day. Jason, you have to remember that when people say dumb things, it's probably just some 13-year-old kid on his mom's phone. Yeah, I forget. Eastern Standard Time, so 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have wonderful guitar players who contribute liberally to the productivity of the live chat. And if you're playing Guitar Hero, you're going to love it. You're going to have some things you can contribute, advertise your videos on your channel, whatever you can do to better yourself, betters our community, right? So that's exactly what we're doing here. And I'm falling out of beat with the metronome. Please help. Yeah, I see you sub. Thank you for your sub. We'll see you tomorrow again at 7:30 a.m. All right, got it. Thank you so much, Uncle. I appreciate. Oh, all right. Uncle Jason lives on. All right, I get it. Is there an online community for like messaging, like a Discord? Oh, I do have a Discord server. Why don't I give you that? I'll give you that tomorrow. It's Jason Carey Guitar. I forget. Let me go through and get that information for you. I'll have that posted tomorrow, and then. Oh yeah. So actually, like we have a couple of weeks ago, we had the old managing editor from Modern Drummer magazine here. He did he's friends with Mr. Neil Peart from the band Rush. That some of you might know Rush. He did, he talks about, he's the guy. He did that April '84 issue, the interview that everybody went goo goo gaga over when Neil Peart was doing the, so once in a while we'll have some really, really cool people show up, but it's not, it's not what it's about. It's about sort of just working on our own things on the guitar. But you can learn more about Scott K. Fish right here on YouTube. Scott K. Fish. Scott, 2 T's, K. Fish. And you can see some of the things that we've been working on together. We've been songwriting and collaborating together for a while now. We have a forthcoming album of a duo album, shared album. And maybe you'll like that. But I appreciate you asking about the Discord. Is there an online community? Yay, all right. I'll set an alarm in the Philippines. So, all right, 8:30 p.m. All right, also, Maclack, do you know Tom Bucco, what's the most important thing to learn for improv? Oh, okay. One more question, and then we're out of here. Thanks, Mac. Just so you know, if you're just tuning in, I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the point is to do the morning ritual for guitar growth, where we work on breath, tuning, and mechanical chromatic style like warm-ups. And then this is Strum Pattern Week, so we will continue with the last quarter of the lesson with strum patterning and advancing our strum pattern techniques. And let's see. It's about, so what is the most important thing to learn for improv? Well, you got to listen. And I'll leave it at that. But you've got to do the listening to the greats, the Miles Davis, the great quintet, all of the greats, Buddy Miles, Buddy Guy Davis, B.B. King, Son House. If you go way back to before Robert Johnson, there's Pat Metheny's a wonderful, This is a great record. Live in Europe, the Pat Metheny Group, Live in Europe. That's a wonderful album. You will not be sorry you listened to it 100 times. Keith Jarrett is one of my favorite improvisers, the pianist, the great pianist. So the Keith Jarrett Trio. Listening is Keith Jarrett, Kurt Rosenwinkel. Kurt Rosenwinkel is another, wonderful guitar player who is just right at the edge of where we're at. Like, legitimate, improviser, like legitimately next step, the guitarist of a generation. And, just listening is a big part of it, big piece of it. Can't wait to learn more. Just now seeing this. Tracy Allen, welcome. Thanks for being here. So, yeah, we're just... Oh, my guitar's got to have some work, but I'm just getting ready to jump. We go 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. We'll be here 5 days a week, every weekday morning for the entire year of 2025. And we'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7:30. Until we meet again, I wish you all